Welcome to episode 20 of Lost Signals. My name is Daryl.
I'm JD.
Hi. It's been a minute.
Hi.
It's been a minute.
Yes, it has.
It's been 2 weeks again. You know, it's kind of the way that the schedule's kind of been working. Keep talking about that our schedules are kind of fucked up. Just,
Well,
it seems like Wednesday is a good day to do it for some reason. I don't know why. It's just,
you know what? I think when we first started this, wasn't it Wednesdays and Sundays that were like they were premium?
yeah. Then things changed.
Yeah. Your schedule changed. My schedule
Yeah.
changed.
It is what it is. We'll try and do more than one every 2 weeks. Just sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. That's life.
And on
right?
top, it is life. And on top of that, I mean, it's difficult to do a show that is based around current events and pre-record it.
That's true enough too. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we could talk about whatever, but it might not be relevant, a week after we release it, or, everything completely changed. Which is a perfect segue into our, maybe not retraction or rebuttal, but like corrections from our last episode.
An update, as it were.
Update.
Yeah.
So we were talking about movies that were supposed to be released this fall on episode 19. And pretty much every movie that we talked about has now been pushed back to early 2022. So like Jackass 4 is February 4th. Top Gun is like May long weekend or something like in there, Memorial Day in the States or whatever. So it's like that's what happens. Things change.
Mission Impossible 7 is coming out sometime in October, which I understand because you can't have Tom Cruise too close to Tom Cruise.
Well, it's that Scientology shit. It's too much Tom Cruise.
Too much Tom Cruise.
And I don't really like Tom Cruise. But
I'm still looking forward to Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes, and that has not been pushed as of we're talking right now at 3:40 p.m. Central Time.
Allow me.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, exactly. So, but mind you, that was supposed to come out in 2019 already. So we're already 2 years past. Or was it 2020? Yeah,
it was supposed to come out last year. Yeah.
I can't remember. Regardless, I'm still pumped for that movie. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So how you been doing, man? Like you said, it's been a minute.
It has been. So yeah, like your schedule and my schedule have changed over the past couple of months, and so it makes meeting up and having a conversation and accumulating stories, news, and personal lives a little bit more difficult. But I mean, things have been okay, I guess. I am a couple of days into my 4 days off in a row, which is nice, and considering how smoothly and then dramatically my work week went. It's been kind of nice, I had incidences with both jobs, radio and driving, and one more traumatic than the other.
Okay, so let's jump right into it then. Let's
Sure.
Because I know the story. Like we talked about this, a text fact back and forth, but let's talk about the one from before first. Let's talk about the radio one. Ow! Can you not? It's like, hello, dog. Just gotta be center stage. If you're watching,
if you're listening, if you're listening to the podcast, then right now, I mean, just the most adorable puppers is just getting the attention of Dad right now.
Yeah, just climbing up my back. It's like, thank you, thank you. And now trying to bite my hand. Thank you.
Yes.
You're cute, but Jesus Christ, your teeth are sharp.
So I have been working for the same radio station for the past 5.5 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, me and long tenures at radio stations are just kind of hand in hand. Before that, I was working for a different radio station for 7 years. And before that was my first radio station I worked for, but the radio station itself only existed for 1.5 years.
Oh.
So anyway, for the past 5.5 years, I've been working for 99.3, The Drive. Well, 2 weekends ago, we did a name change and nothing more. Everything else was the same. It's just like my own belief and my understanding of our market, our demographic, as well as the station itself and how it's evolved over the years. A name change was overdue. And so we went from 99.3 The Drive to 99.3 Rewind Radio. And
Yeah,
again,
so-
like
that seems like a common name naming scheme, because there's a couple like radio stations around here that kind of have that same name. Like I don't know. It's like it's common. Maybe it's just the way that the markets are going. Anyway, sorry.
no,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Marketing is about familiarity, or at least catching the attention. It's one or the other, right?
Yeah.
So if you can make something familiar and comfortable, then people will remember it. But if you can also make it eye-catching and attention-grabbing, then people will remember it. It might have more of a shock value to it, and you might get more pushback from it. But still, it's the whole point is to remember it. It's like
Right.
the really fucking annoying commercial you see on TV. You hate the product, but you remember the commercial.
Yeah.
That is the entire point. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we changed it. And with that, we started a brand new contest. Now, the change happened on a Friday. And of course, I'm the weekend guy. So I was working Saturday and Sunday. Now, it was a long weekend here in Canada. And Labor Day long weekend. And it being in a small town like Prince George, during a long weekend, any day of the long weekend, you can fire a cannon down the street and you hit the cannoneer. Just give it enough time.
Yeah.
It'll come back around. So it was a little shocking to see outside my studio window, a couple hours into my shift, all these cars parked along the street in front of my radio station. And I start seeing people walking and congregating into one area just beyond my site. And then I see a couple of signs. I'm like, are you shitting me? Protesters? For what? It's Labor Day long weekend, and we changed our name. We changed the radio station. What are we protesting here? Honestly, like I was stunned. So I could there's access to security cameras within the studio, and I can see the parking lot and a camera that shoots out to the driveway, out to the main street, and I can see all these people.
Yeah.
And I can see them. They have coffee cups and signs and whatnot on one of our station vehicles. So we have exposed underground parking. It's not gated or anything like that, but it is like underneath the building. The building itself starts on the second floor. So I go downstairs and I see all these people, and they're all lining up. And there's one guy with the cutest little fucking megaphone I have ever seen. Like, it is like you think to yourself like a police megaphone, right?
Yeah.
No, it's about a third of the size.
Oh no.
Anyway, and he's shouting and screaming and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And within 30 seconds, I realize, oh, they're protesting vaccine passports.
Oh my God. Shut the fuck up.
Now, I'm taking this whole thing in, right? Like, I work, the radio station is a union company. I work for a union.
Yeah.
Or there's a union that I am a part of.
Yeah.
It's Labor Day long weekend, and these assholes are blocking my driveway. Now, I'm already at the radio station, and everyone that needs to be there during the long weekend is already in the radio station and already working. But these assholes are like, just the presence of this on this weekend was just like, you fucking hypocrites. So anyway, I try to get my attention. I try to get their attention. I like, excuse me, nothing. Hello, nothing. I want these people to at least get off of our property and get their signs and their coffee cups off of our fucking vehicle.
Yeah.
Our station vehicle, our brand new wrapped station vehicle, right? So my first job was traffic controller, telling cars which lanes to go in at a drag strip. I had to learn how to yell and project at a very young age.
Yeah.
So, over my years of broadcast experience, I have learned how to keep that skill. So if I want to, I can make myself very loud, but also very clear. So I yell and I say, "What are you guys doing here?" And the entire crowd turns to me. And the guy with the megaphone, as well as three other people, start talking all at the same time. I'm like, what? And again, the guy with the megaphone, again, cutest little thing,
You could probably yell louder than the megaphone.
I was yelling louder than them.
Yeah.
They like this happens like 4 times. They're blah 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand what I say. I don't understand what you guys are saying. Please remove your stuff off of our vehicle. Please stay off of our property.
Yeah.
And that's when 2 guys start walking towards me and go, "Make me." Now, not the smartest thing I could have done.
No, probably not. But
I'm about 40 feet away from them. Still like 1 foot inside the door of the radio station. And it's automatically locked. Like you have to have a fob to get in and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the 2 guys start walking towards me. And after I say, "Please get off of our property," 2 guys start walking towards me and go, "Make me." And I looked at the first one and went, "Come here." And they stopped. Now, a few of the guys that were yelling alongside the person with the megaphone, I hesitate to actually call it a megaphone because it was a microphone. No,
Yeah.
a microphone is this. So
yeah.
a mini phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, they reach over and they grab the 2 guys who were walking towards me. Like, no, like we're not about this, whatever. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
So anyway, finally I hear the guy with the megaphone say something. Blah, 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 blah. We just want the media to stop telling stupid lies and tell us the truth. And I had this in my head because I knew that it was the next thing I was going to say during my live radio show. And I said, "When the fuck did I ever lie about Tracy Chapman?" And I walked in the door. And as I'm
She's a
walking
nice lady.
As I'm walking in the door, I hear the guy with the mini phone go, "Tracy Chapman," and then silence.
I'm guessing the joke went right over his head. like completely no idea what was going on.
So I get upstairs, I do my break, and then I call the general manager and the station manager, 2 different people. And I say, "We got protesters." And the general manager's like, "I'll be right there." The station manager's like, "For fuck's sakes."
It's 2 very different reactions. I mean, similar but different.
Similar, but at the same time, like, I'll accept both.
Yeah.
So the general manager comes down and he's actually standing on our property and like just he took our company vehicle and he moved it further into the parking lot.
Yeah.
And just watching things. And these people were there for about 2 hours.
Those people not have anything better to do with their time on a long weekend?
Yeah, no shit, right? Like, for fuck's sakes. So as he's doing this, he's texting me. He's like, "They're talking about this. They're talking about this. They brought up Joe Biden." Like, holy fuck's
sakes.
These are Canadians, right?
Grow the fuck up. Like,
so, yeah. So 2 hours into it, the boss man says, the general manager says, "They're starting to disperse." And then 5 minutes later, he goes, "They're nearly almost gone." Like, there was maybe 100 people. And then I guess at the 2-hour mark, they're like, "Go home." So they all went home, and except for a few choice people. And so I go downstairs. Now, the general manager, like, I'm 5'9". I am 5'9", 230 pounds. I take care of myself. I go to the gym. I lift weights. I eat all the beef. Like, I take, like, I'm healthy. I can take care of myself. Also, military background. Like, I can deal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, my general manager, older gentleman, taller gentleman, in great physical condition, but it's still like, I'll just go check on him. So I go walking downstairs, and there's maybe about 4 people left. And as I'm rounding the corner, this time I'm wearing a mask. The first time I wasn't because I knew I wasn't going to be anywhere near him.
Yeah.
This time I'm wearing a mask. And as I'm rounding the corner, I come around the left side of my general manager, and this woman who's about maybe 4 foot nothing, gray hair, and just got this scowl on her face. She points at me directly and goes, him, that's the gentleman." And I come around the corner and go, "Hey."
Hi.
And she goes, "I don't much like your tone, sir. And you weren't wearing a mask the first time you came out." And I looked at her and I said, "What were you protesting?" And she goes, "Anyway." "I don't much like your tone." I said, "What tone?" She goes, "Well, you were yelling." I said, "I was yelling because you guys, none of you heard me the
fuck up.
Yeah. None of you guys heard me the first 2 times."
Yeah.
She goes, I certainly heard you when you yelled. And I said, good.
That's
Like,
that's
clearly it worked.
that's the point, right?
Yeah. So she's like, well, we have a right, we have a freedoms to blah, blah, blah. And like, I tuned out immediately, right?
Yeah.
And I said, does that give you the freedom to threaten my life? She goes, I didn't do that. I said, no, but people in your crowd did. So I wasn't aware of that. It's like, okay, fine. Well, regardless, still don't have any idea why you guys were here. It's like, well, the government controls the media. And the general manager goes, that's CBC, and they're 3 blocks that way.
Yeah, exactly. Why?
Holy,
Like I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like what's
Hi, Kit Kat. Thank you.
Yeah. Like what's the point? You're not proving anything.
No.
Like at all. Like you're making yourself look foolish. It's exactly like these people that are protesting at hospitals right now. Like go, you know what? If you want to protest, I'm all for it. You know what? I don't care. You want to protest something? Go do it in some place where it's actually going to count. Not at a fucking hospital. Like, go to your legislature. Go bitch at your MLA. Go your MP. Somebody that'll actually listen. Not a bunch of fucking stressed out doctors and fucking nurses. Like,
or radio personalities that have nothing to fucking do with it.
Exactly. Like, get a life.
Like, I don't run a political show, right? I never have.
No.
Right?
I mean, we do end up, like this show, we end up talking politics every week to a point. But
well, fine. Then they can stand outside our station. As soon as we get one, we will send them the address. And then fucking come bring donuts.
Yeah. I'll sit and I'll have a beer with you. We can talk about shit, whatever. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
So
threaten my life though, and then, I stopped listening.
So I have a story similar on that vein of not threatening, not my life, but threatening.
Yeah.
So last week, I'd worked a whole bunch of night shifts in a row. And we've known each other long enough. You know, like when I work a night shift, usually like when I get off a night shift, I'm not in a real great mood. You know, because I didn't sleep properly the whole weekend. Whatever. So it was Monday afternoon. Call it Monday morning because that's when I, woke up.
Your Monday morning.
Yeah, and it was Labor Day, so nothing is open in my hometown because it's Labor Day. So I decided I needed some food. I needed some booze. So I drive to the next town over, pick up whatever. I'm like, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. It's like I didn't want to cook anything. So there's a Dairy Queen the next town over. I was like, I'm gonna grab a cheeseburger. It's whatever, just so I don't have to cook.
There are worse things.
Yeah, exactly. And I ate healthy all weekend, so whatever. So I'm sitting in the drive-thru line, and it's busy because it's right by a lake. A busy lake. Like, there's like 1,000 cabins on this lake. It's just massive. So there's all of this lake traffic. Like, lineup's pretty long. So I'm sitting there, and I got a bag of sunflower seeds in the car. Whatever, eat a sunflower seed, toss a shell out the window. Sunflower seed, toss out the window. I'd had a couple. I'm like, I had enough of this. Roll the window up. I'm sitting there, listen to tunes or whatever, and so I look in my side mirror, and I'm like, there's a dude getting out of his truck. What the fuck is this guy doing?
What is it with that sense of like,
it's like
I sense an asshole.
Yeah. It's like what is this asshole doing?
Yeah.
So whatever. He walks up. I'm not a small guy, my big beard, and he's wearing sunglasses, and he knocks on my window. He's like, roll it down. He was like maybe 5'5", 5'6", maybe. Like, he's a short little dude. So roll down my window. I'm like, what? He's like, that's a $575 fine for littering. Like,
what? Sunflower seed shells.
I'm like what? That's a fine for littering. You're littering right now. Like, I looked at him. I looked over at my bag of sunflower seeds. They're fucking sunflower seed shells.
If anything, I'm fertilizing.
Exactly. It's like, they're fucking biodegradable.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to report you. I'm like, go ahead. What cop is going to give me a fucking ticket for throwing fucking sunflower seed shells out? I'm like, get fucked and get out of my face. And I rolled up my window. Like, and then after I left the drive-thru, I gave him the finger about 3 times. It's like, Like, okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so like, what kind of asshole do you have to be? Like, I specifically said, like, they're sunflower seashells. They're 100% biodegradable. They're like, what kind of dick do you have to be to go up to somebody else and like tell them something like that? It's like, why? Like, who hurt you that bad that you have to be that much of a cunt? Like, and that's exactly what that guy was. He was a fucking cunt. It's like, and I like, I was riled up for the rest of the day. Like, I think I messaged you like right away while I was still in the drive-thru. It's like, I just had the worst fucking, episode in a fucking drive-thru ever, and I couldn't even spell it properly. I looked at the message before. It's like, it was all misspelled. It's like, have you ever been in that sort of situation where like you're sitting there and you're minding your own business, you're not doing anything wrong? It may have looked like I was doing something wrong, like throwing paper or something out the window, but it was a sunflower seed shell. Like,
Yeah.
but like, has anything like that happened to you? Like, where somebody was a dick to you for no fucking reason?
Man. I mean, there's idiots who like would just be idiots in traffic. But like for me to just like sit there, okay, it just hit me. Years and years and years ago, I was still a teenager. I was dating this young woman, and we were just hanging out, waiting for the bus or whatever. And I just had my arm around her, just arm over the shoulder, and that is it, nothing more. And this gentleman comes up to me and says, "You guys are being disgusting." I went, "I beg your pardon."
Fucking.
I was too young to say I beg your pardon, so I probably just went, "Excuse me." He goes, "You guys are just being disgusting. Like, you should not be doing this sort of thing out in public." And I was like, "Doing what? Like, we're not doing anything wrong here." It's like, "You guys, like, you young kids just have no respect." I'm like, "Sir, what is it that we are doing wrong?" And by this time, my girlfriend's like, "I don't understand. We're fully clothed. Like, what's going on?" Right? And the guy's like, you got blah, 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 just this whole rhetoric or whatever. And I'm pretty sure there was something religious that was said as well. But again, I tuned the fuck out. But I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't groping her. I was just waiting there on the bus stop.
Maybe she was cold. Maybe I don't
know. Maybe
like fucking like
But at this point in time, like, it was just like, where'd this come from? Like, this is not a me thing. This is a you thing. And on that note, I think the gentleman who came up to you most likely got fined for littering, like, recently.
Maybe. Like, I don't know, man. It was such a weird situation. It's like, and it left me riled up for like a day and a half after that. It's like, why would you do that? Like, why would you go out of your way? Like, again, but mind you, we did have a conversation about this. Is like going out of our way to make somebody's days worse. Yeah. While driving and stuff, but like to actually like come up to somebody, it's like, just don't do that. Don't.
Our cases though, those were instigated.
Yeah.
I mean, those people intruded and like interrupted our lives in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. We didn't go out there just to like, I choose violence this morning. Like.
Yeah, man. It was such a mind-boggling fucking situation. It was like I sat incredulous in my car waiting for my cheeseburger. It's like why would you do that? But
I don't know. I don't.
Whatever. I mean, it is what it is, and like maybe that guy just chose the cunt lifestyle, right? Like,
or perhaps he was just jealous.
Because he
an older gentleman, a young man, young woman sitting on a bench, being affectionate towards each other. Yeah. He is just jealous and alone and petty. Like, that's the only reasoning that I can think of at this time. Back then, I was just like, fuck, and like I wasn't even holding on to her breast. Yeah, I was doing nothing wrong.
Yeah,
So,
again, it is what it is. Fucking,
it is what it is.
But so there was some bad news yesterday.
What's that?
That comedian Norm Macdonald died.
Yeah.
That one kind of hit home. I mean, because like the guy was like a staple on SNL for how many years? He was in like how many hilarious movies, like the only one I can think of off the top of my head, because I just got off night shifts again, but like in Billy Madison, like it's a funny story. I was just on Reddit before we came on the show. You've watched Billy Madison before, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so the kid that peed his pants in Billy Madison posted
Yeah.
a picture of him and Norm Macdonald on Reddit this afternoon.
Aw.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. But so apparently Norm had cancer for like 7 years and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Besides, close friends and family, but like he didn't tell the media, he didn't tell anybody like that, just because the show had to go on. And I don't blame him. Like, man, like that one just like right out of left field. It's like, yeah, all of a sudden Norm Macdonald's gone is weird, but
Yeah.
So
It was sudden, but again, like he led a very private life. He let no one know
yeah,
that he was battling cancer, and like he wasn't just like ignoring it. He was doing everything he could to
Yeah.
try to fight back, but at the same time, like he lived his own life the way he wanted, and he let public what he wished.
yeah, yeah. Just it sucks, like the cancer thing. It's whatever. But
Yeah.
So on that vein, okay, so like him dying yesterday, that kind of hit home for me. Like it's my battle with cancer myself and whatever. So like when I see other people dying of cancer too, it's like it hits closer for me personally.
Right.
So what would be like a celebrity death, and not even celebrity, I guess. Like what death, like in maybe the public eye, kind of hit you?
Well, this is actually kind of timely because yesterday was a 1 year anniversary that my broadcast partner passed away. And
I saw your post yesterday or this morning. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, and I understand why you wouldn't, I used to co-host the weekend, as it were, on my radio station. It was myself and a veteran of the industry, Mike Austin, whose real name is Dave Ross, and there's an entire story behind that, but I just knew him as Mike Austin. And just before the pandemic hit, he was diagnosed with lung cancer. Excuse me.
Who?
Now, this is the second time in his life that he had been diagnosed with lung cancer. When I first started at this radio station, he was diagnosed with lung cancer.
Yeah.
And he took 9 months off, and he got all sorts of treatment, and it went into remission. And it was great. And it was great to have him back.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's a veteran of the industry. And so a lot of his fans, a lot of our fans and listeners and followers and whatnot were just delighted to have him back.
Yeah.
And I continued to co-host the weekend with him. So with that, when the pandemic hit, or just before the pandemic hit, he was diagnosed with lung cancer yet again. Like the cancer had come back, and this time it was very aggressive.
Yeah.
So he was already taking time off of work, and I had taken it upon myself to like meet with him and bring him coffee and Timbits, and we'd sit there and we'd just go through his old record collection. Like his record collection would put yours and mine to fucking shame.
Oh, I
bet it was just stunning, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Original prints of incredible bands that he bought.
Yeah.
Like walked down to so anyway. So it wasn't often, but it was often enough that I would always keep in touch with him and just hang out and just be with him and just shoot the shit. And then the pandemic hit, and of course this was way before vaccines were available, so visiting with him became much more difficult. So it was about a year ago. Yeah, it was a year ago yesterday. I'm at work. I'm in the middle, like 2 hours into my 7-hour shift, and I get an email from the general manager, and it is the news that Mike Austin had passed away that morning.
Yeah.
And it was the day before that he had announced and made it public that he wasn't going to fight anymore, that he wanted to spend the rest of his life, what time he had left, just enjoying it. So
That's fair. Yeah.
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 Two days ago last year, he said that he was just going to enjoy the rest of his life. And then yesterday, last year, he passed away. And I was in the middle of my radio shift.
But that was a fun rest of your shift.
Yeah. I got the email. I got 3 sentences into it, and the community cruiser girl, the fun chaser, comes just blasting through the door, tears running down her face. And that's where I got to the point where it said Mike Austin had passed away.
Oy.
And like, pandemic be damned, her and I just held each other. We cried, and then that's when it dawned on me, like, I gotta go back on the radio in like a minute. So that was the roughest on-air break I had ever done in my entire life. And then I called up the general manager from the radio station, and the first words out of his mouth was, "Oh fuck, you're working."
Oh, no.
Completely blitzed on the fact that I was currently on air.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "What do you need from me? What do you need from me?" I say, I can't be here.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it.
Or just bring me some beers.
Yeah.
About like
He
six dozen. Yeah.
He goes, "Go home. Just go home. Like, and just call it. Just go home."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, okay. I told him, this is what I want to do, because the public doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
But the public will want to know, and we are allowed to say this now. I'm going to host for an hour, and don't expect much from me, but I'm going to host for an hour, and I'm going to let the public know, and I'm going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to talk. And then I'll call it. Like, after that, I'm done with the show for today. He goes, "Yeah, totally fine. Keep it respectable. Do the whole thing."
Yeah.
And so I went Facebook Live and told the public, and it was an hour of me. Like, I can even feel it right now. Like, I can't watch that video ever again. It's still up on my Facebook page, but I can't watch that video ever again. And it's an hour of me crying through crying through phone calls and text messages and on-air breaks and fucking weather updates.
You'd think that'd be the one time where you could just, like, we're just, if you want to know the weather, just look out the fucking window, right?
Yeah.
It's just,
But I did it. I would have made Mike Austin proud, honestly. And so that's the death that hit me the hardest, because it was my broadcast partner.
Yeah.
It was my weekend partner, and I got the news in the studio we shared.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
So,
yeah. I mean, that's
celebrity wise, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's a little way heavier than the one I was just thinking of, but I mean that one sucked too. Like when Owen Hart died in '99, that one really fucking hurt.
Yeah,
I remember that day. The Raw after that one, that was a tough one to watch.
That really was.
Yeah.
Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero. Like, I got a text message from my ex-wife. Eddie Guerrero is dead. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
So I have a funny story about that. So back in, like, I think 2002 or 2003, I was working at a restaurant in Saskatoon, and I was working the door, whatever. And there was a nightclub and restaurant upstairs, and wrestling happened to be in Saskatoon that night. So it was about 11:30, and all of a sudden the hostess from upstairs, like, they usually closed at 11. The hostess came up to me. She's like, "There's a bunch of wrestlers upstairs." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Who?" She's like, "I don't know, but they're really big." Like, like it's like, fucking, I ran upstairs and I kind of stuck my head over. I'm sure they saw me, but like holy fuck, it's Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and Chavo Guerrero.
Holy shit.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I run downstairs, and the DJ we had was a huge wrestling fan too. To like, dude, like, fucking Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit and Chavo Guerrero are upstairs. He's like, what? He had the same reaction I did. So we both ran upstairs and we talked to him for a few minutes, and fucking, like, these dudes, like, they were little, but like their hands made mine look tiny. Like, it was weird. But but I mean, that goes on the whole death thing, because like I met both Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero like months before they died.
Yeah.
So that's weird, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of a good segue into wrestling if we want to talk about that.
Sure.
Yeah. Like you bought the All In pay-per-view the other day. And
First pay-per-view I purchased in well over a decade, honestly.
So first off, what was the cost? Just so we know, because like I know friends that have the WWE Network, and it's like $11 a month, but you get everything.
Yeah, including pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It was $49.99 before taxes.
It's a $57 ish.
Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Happy with that. Totally, because like I saw, I think like the most recent pay-per-views for WWE without the network was like $60-$70.
I think like $69.95 or something before tax. Like that's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
For like a mediocre product.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no. Yeah. Mediocre being the key word.
Yeah, 100%. But okay, so what were your thoughts on it? Like
it's going to be JD cries at everything episode.
Yeah, I didn't mean this to like get to be like a topic heavy episode, but like whatever.
No, these were tears of joy.
Yeah.
So like first of all, like AEW is about telling a story, right? They yes, competent, incredible athletes, professional wrestlers to the very bitter end, but they are great at and focusing on telling a story. So sometimes a move won't connect or the choreography isn't exactly the greatest, but they're still telling a story within the match.
Right.
And that is most important, right? WWE is very much about the finesse, right?
Yeah.
Will this move hit? Will that move hit? How can we transition from this move to that move? Whereas AEW is like, okay, so this character is doing this and has the upper hand because of this, but the opponent will work on this and make sure your bass guitar.
I know. I'm watching it on my screen. I'm like getting ready to go just grab his tail or something. You just stay right here, you little fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, with all the releases and like the bad news and the bad publicity that the WWE has been just pumping out, like the insane amount of roster vacancies and releases and firings and whatever over the past 6 months from the WWE is just staggering, absolutely staggering. So when some of those wrestlers find a home in AEW and they're welcomed with open arms, like there was a couple of times where I teared up. First time was the battle royale, the royal flush or whatever they call it, for the women's, and 5 wrestlers come out representing 5 different suits of representing the suits of cards. There was the hearts, the diamonds, the clubs, and the spades, with the Joker being the final entry. So in total, you have 21 female wrestlers at one point or another in the ring. With the Joker coming out the very last. So in WWE terms, that would be like the 30th spot in the Royal Rumble. So anyway, all these wrestlers are coming out, and some of them are coming out to fanfare, and some of them are being booed, and they're the choreography and the moves aren't exactly solid, but they're still telling a story. And then the Joker comes up onto the screen, and then Rancid's Ruby Soho hits.
Nice.
And formerly known as Ruby Riott, now known as Ruby Soho, comes out. I'm like, because so underutilized in WWE.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Just not like a great talent, but not used right. But that's a common thread in when you talk about WWE in the last 10 years. It's like all of this talent and all of it went to waste.
They got lightning in a bottle and you don't know what to do with it. So Ruby comes out, Ruby Soho now. And like just immediately goes into the ring and just like, okay. So again, like not going on technicality, but telling a story. And and telling an incredible story, and then she wins the whole thing, which means that she gets a shot at the championship title against Britt Baker, and
Who is actually a doctor.
Which is awesome.
She's actually a dentist. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
At least,
but it was amazing to see it, right?
Yeah,
and for
yeah.
her to come out to like Rancid's actual tune of Ruby Soho was awesome, right? Now find out later that, and the reason why she changed her name to Ruby Soho, and the reason why she was using the actual music from Rancid is because Rancid approached her and said, "Hey, you want to use this?"
Well, I'm like, I was just thinking, like, I wonder if Rancid was seeing, you know, like the resurgence in popularity of Cult of Personality.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
Or maybe they're just a fan of hers. Or, you know, like maybe they had a relationship before. But I mean, for Rancid to actually do that, I mean, I love Rancid. So, I mean, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after that, like a bunch of great matches, and again, like telling a story, and some of the matches more technical than the others. Seeing CM Punk take on Darby Allin was like watching the Triple H versus Shawn Michaels street fight, where Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels like was before going into the match, and in an interview afterward, like a shoot interview afterward, was like saying like he wasn't sure if he still had a career in wrestling.
Yeah.
And just like shaking off the rust as you went through it. And so watching Punk and Allen go at it and working off of each other and pacing themselves, but at the same time, like slowly but surely gaining momentum throughout the match was awesome. And seeing CM Punk show that, yeah, it's been a while, but at the same time, like he can still go the distance.
Yeah.
With a pseudo stunt man who's just willing to sacrifice his body like Darby Allin was a refreshing match.
Well, even like the comparison, like if you look at the move sets that they're allowed in AEW compared to WWE, it's like it's phenomenally different. Yeah. Like way more high risk, and that might end up being a detriment later, you know, because accidents can happen. But no, like, and yeah, I was gonna say something, but I know where you're going with this already, so I'll hold off on it. So. No. It's because of who else came out later in the match, later in the evening. Yeah, so it's.
Well, you're not talking about Sting because Sting was already there.
No, Sting was there for a while, but no, like later in the evening.
Yes.
Well, actually, no. It's something that Punk said the other day. It's like it's not, you know, sports entertainment. It's actual professional wrestling. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So the final match being Christian Cage, who, like, he was a well-utilized star in Impact, underutilized in WWE twice.
Yeah, his first run with Edge in the 90s, you can't call that underutilized, I don't think, but the subsequent returns afterwards were underutilized for sure. Yeah.
So Christian has really grown into himself as a singles competitor.
Yeah.
Yet again, like he was that when he was in Impact Wrestling,
right?
And in returns to the WWE, again, like great worker but underutilized. They never saw him as a mainstream competitor type thing.
No, I think they did put a heavyweight title on him once, but I think he got squashed pretty quick after.
Yeah. So watching him going up against Kenny Omega, which Kenny Omega is one of the, if not the top professional wrestlers in the world right now. The guy is
without
stunning.
Question.
Yeah. Was awesome. And like they went back and forth, and how they finished the match made sense. Kenny Omega got the big win off of an avalanche one-winged angel, which a one-winged angel, the move itself is horrifying to watch.
Oh yeah.
On its own, you do that from the second turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Like holy Christ.
Holy. Yeah.
So then, like afterward, Kenny Omega's crew comes out and they're celebrating, and Kenny Omega takes an absolute like low shot at the world, saying like that just proves my point that the only people who can defeat me are either
Not here or dead.
not here, already tired, already retired,
Or yeah.
or already dead.
Yeah.
And like the crowd went, ah, but then the lights went out. And then if anyone got the reference to their YouTube series, Adam Cole's music hit. And me not being much of a fan of AEW or moderately familiar with Adam Cole, I got excited because my God, that was an entrance. And I found out later that in their YouTube series, being the Elite,
Yeah.
they quote unquote killed Adam Cole.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I never watched the YouTube series either. I've heard it's good though, but
yeah, it's entertaining. I went back to watch and went, oh, that's the reference.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Adam Cole comes out and he rejoins the Elite, Kenny Omega's faction. And then Kenny Omega goes to sign off for the night, and then Flight of the Valkyries hit. And like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson comes out and just tears down the house.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because the way it was set up was like everyone knew in around the world and in person and in the arena and watching on pay-per-view, everyone knew that there was going to be a massive entrance. Everyone had, like, again, the worst kept secret of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson coming out. But then Adam Cole comes out and they go, that's awesome. And then Bryan Danielson comes out and go, we forgot about that.
Yeah. It was a really good misdirection. I didn't watch I watched the end of that match. I just watched it on YouTube. I didn't have time to watch the whole pay-per-view, but like the way that they did that was it was pretty well done. But I mean that's the way AEW is lately. It's like I would rather watch a product like that than watch that than WWE any day. I mean, I still have a soft spot for it because of like the old days, but it's not the same anymore. The problem is with WWE is that they're trying to do the same shit that they've been doing for the last fucking 25 years, and it's not working anymore.
No.
So
it's like you want to get into the nuances of the entire situation over WWE. It's Vince McMahon still trying to hold on to what he knew made him a success 2 decades ago, and Triple H trying to direct him going, no, things have changed. Go this way.
Yeah. And him not listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a WWE 2K19 because WWE 2K20, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I took it upon myself to, like, because you can make different shows and adjust the roster and that sort of thing within the game. Took it upon myself to just out of curiosity, who's active in a WWE on Raw and on SmackDown, and then made an AEW roster out of 0 created characters, right? As it stands with the current roster on WWE 2K19, the roster for AEW of WWE superstars is more than the independent Raw and SmackDown rosters available for that game. That's horrific.
That's terrible. Like, I don't even know what to say to that, because like it's just not good.
Yeah. With that being said, I am so looking forward to the AEW video game that's going to come out, which they have gone on record by saying it is the spiritual successor to Nintendo 64's No Mercy.
Yeah. I think we talked about this last episode, actually, or 2 episodes. It was right after the CM Punk return. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, I got burnt by even WWE 2K19, which I have on the Xbox. It's not a perfect game. No. There are issues with that, and then those issues just compounded over the years. They announced 2K22, which has been pushed back to next year. I'm just like, I'll get the AEW game before I'm going to go back to WWE.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to remind you about LinkedIn, and we were going to have a conversation about that.
Horrible bosses. Yeah. So the LinkedIn story, I have a LinkedIn only because like I got bugged so many different times a couple of years ago by other people. Like, how come you don't have LinkedIn? I want to add you as my LinkedIn. I want to blah 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 blah. Like, it's just
it's Facebook
whatever.
for professionals.
It is
like, and I have LinkedIn as well, but I have no reason to use it at all.
And I have more of a reason to use it, and I don't use it.
Yeah.
With that being said, it does notify you of people that are on LinkedIn that are associated or linked to or are friends of other people that connected to you, blah, 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 blah. And one person keeps popping up lately, and it makes me want to go into my LinkedIn and adjust a few things and fix a few things, because it is my former boss from the radio station, the one that got shit canned. LinkedIn keeps telling me this person will be perfect for your profile. Like, no, he fucking wouldn't.
No, he won't. No, because he's dumb. Yeah. Speaking of dumb, if you can see over my shoulder here, Loki's chasing his tail.
Yes, he is. That's adorable. He's gonna go right into that wall.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna
move this up. So with like this is the same guy that would program the wrong IDs on the wrong radio station. We had 99.3 The Drive, 101.3 The River, and half the time, whenever there was a special event on the weekend, he would go into the programs and move some things around, but then he would put the wrong IDs on the wrong station. So there would be times where I would have to manually go in and get rid of 101.3 The River IDs off of the Drive radio station. And the only person that's been doing that, that had access to do that, would be him. This is the same guy who would hit on the community fun chasers who are just out of high school and just got their license.
Oh, he sounds like a stand-up guy. You should add him on LinkedIn.
I
bet you guys have some like really similar ideas about things and stuff.
The most recent fun chaser, who again she's like 21 years old now.
Yeah.
But she started working for us 2 years ago. Went to a community event after that boss got fired.
Yeah.
And that boss was there because he was attached to the organizers of said event. He was Crime Stoppers.
Yeah.
And according to the fun chaser, who was, again, at that time, 19 years old, he walked up to her and said, "Hey, so how are things? Blah, 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 talk, bullshit, whatever. And then had the audacity to ask this 19-year-old, "So, everyone there miss me?"
Greasy.
I asked her, "What did you
greasy.
do?"
Yeah.
I asked her, "What'd you do?" She goes, "I pretended I got a phone call."
Oh, man. That's terrible. But yeah. Like, I'm also on, like, I said, I'm also on LinkedIn, and I've, like, they're telling me, like, I have like 3 friends on there, and one of them's like my buddy Dustin, and he's like, so it's suggesting me to get LinkedIn with some of his colleagues. I'm like, I work in a mine. I am not a professional. Like, I'm not a geologist or an engineer or anything, but it's like, oh, you should know this person. They're like a senior engineer at some mines. Like, no, I'm going to delete this because I have no reason to have this.
Yeah.
But so let's start wrapping this up here. But what do you got listened to this week there?
A great throwback from a movie that I didn't think I was going to like, but it stuck with me over the years. Training Day.
Oh, yeah.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Rock Superstar by Cypress Hill.
Ooh, good pick. Yeah. That's a great song. I remember when that song came out. Like, that's got to be what, mid 2000s when Training Day came out. Yeah. No, that's a classic song. Loki, can you?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah. Just hanging out here, just gonna chase my tail.
Dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
Come here. Little fucker. So my first one for this week is Drunks, Lovers, Sinners, and Saints by Alexis on Fire. This is funny because I was thinking about this today before we came on about like Well, I was looking through the Found Signals playlist, which you can find on Spotify, and I'll add the link in the Facebook description, and also at lostsignals.ca. I'm a huge Alexis on Fire fan. I own like everything on vinyl except for like one album, I think. Yeah, and I'm gonna find it. I just haven't yet. That I haven't had any Alexis on Fire here yet. I've had City in Color, but no Alexis on Fire. We find that kind of odd for me. But Drunks, Lovers, Sinners, and Saints off of Crisis is probably my favorite Alexis on Fire song because of the one line. It's like, "Are you pretending? Are you even listening?" I don't know why I don't know. It resonates for some reason, like intangibly, but like it is for sure like my, well, maybe not favorite Alexis on Fire song, but like top 5 for sure. So yeah, I will definitely be adding that onto the list.
Cool.
Yeah.
My next song is something I guarantee you've never heard.
I wouldn't go that far, but maybe.
No, I guarantee it. Yeah. I promise you.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot more of Cyberpunk 2077 lately.
Okay.
And they have a selection of songs that are available through their in-game radio stations. And I've been streaming Cyberpunk 2077 lately. And I found it to be absolutely delightful that these songs are not only high quality, done by artists that some of them I recognize, but also throughout the stream on Twitch and imported to YouTube, not a single strike, not a single copyright strike, not one.
Yeah, it's not muted audio. Nice.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Which is like, that's how you promote a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So one of the stations, I was about to start a mission, and the mission took me from the big major city within the game out to the outskirts, and I just flipped to a radio station, and I just found myself like, I'm going to shut up. This is a great tune.
Yeah.
So the song is called "Resist and Disorder" by Rezodrome. REZODRONE. And I think you'll like it.
You'll have, what is it? Resist
and Disorder.
Yeah, I've definitely not heard of that. Is it on Spotify? That's a question.
It is on Spotify. I've added it to my own Spotify list.
Perfect. So, I will give that a listen. So, like, what's the feel of that song? Like, what kind of vibe are you getting from it? Like industrial metal-ish, or is it like...
Yes. Industrial metal is actually a great way of putting it.
Nice. That is like right up my alley. Because like we've talked about this before. Like I grew up like with Fear Factory, 9 Inch Nails and shit like that. So that's industrial metal.
Yeah. No, that is an accurate description.
Awesome.
Resist and Disorder. It's like I said, like I was about to do a mission and I didn't want to fast travel because I wanted to just explore the world.
Yeah. And
flip to this one radio station. Like, fuck, this is a catchy tune.
Nice. It's awesome. Yeah. I will definitely check that out. I'll be adding it to the Found Signals playlist.
Yes.
My last one for this week is Doomsday by Architects. You know, and I thought we talked about this one before, but I don't think so. And here, bring up my Spotify. Maybe not. No, I didn't. No, we did not talk about this one. Nope. Architects is a metalcore band out of the UK. They lost one of their members, and they wrote this song about it. It's like, and it hits hard. Like, I know we talked about this song on the podcast before, but it was before we started doing the playlist.
What are you spinning?
Yeah. And I think, because I remember I was talking about like how it was one of the only songs that came out in the last couple of years that actually affected me in a way, like because of how good it was. Because let's be honest, I find it harder and harder to find really good music that I've been enjoying. So when I heard this one, it actually it fit the bill. And actually, when I was in Vancouver a couple weeks ago, my buddy Matt, who I stayed with, gave me this.
Oh, that is stunning.
Yeah, it's the vinyl single for it. So
cool.
Yeah. And apparently it was mixed by Nolly Getgood, whose signature bass I have right there. He was the bassist for... I know the name. It just doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah.
You good?
Well, no, because I'm trying to think of that fucking band's name, and I can't think, and it's bugging me now. Wait, no, stop. No, stop. I have to look it up. Periphery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Periphery is another like metal band, and actually, and Nolly, the bassist from Periphery, he's not really the bassist anymore, but yeah, this is his signature bass made by Dingwall out of Saskatoon. So
Gotcha.
That's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that seems like a good place to wrap up. You can check us out on Twitter, even though I haven't been on there lately because I've been busy and stuff. But Twitter, we're at Lost Signals Pod. Website is lostsignals.ca. You can email it at info@lostsignals.ca. I should check that once in a while. And yeah. What? You're pointing at me.
I just want to say a shout out to Kit Kat, who has been in the chat for the entire episode.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Kit Kat. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Yeah, you can also check us out on Twitch. We don't really give much of a notice when we're going live with this, but we do. We don't. This is 100% live. We've never done an actual edited episode. It's like we hit the start button and we talk for an hour and then we shut it off and I edit it quick and put it out. Like I don't change any of the content of the show. It's just, here it is. I adjust audio levels. That's about it. And then it gets put on the internet. So, because don't have time to edit it.
Yeah.
Or it's not that I don't have time. It's like, I think it sounds fine enough as it is. When we get to a bigger point, then we'll hire somebody to do that.
Yeah. We keep things as original as possible because it's a live show.
Yeah. I like live. I mean, I don't think I could ever do like a live radio show like you actually do in real life because I swear too much, but probably learn.
Takes practice.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. Okay, well, that seems like a good place to wrap up. My name is Daryl.
I'm JD.
Thanks for watching episode 20 of Lost Signals, and we will see you out there.
Take care.